Around 1750, the Industrial Revolution began, causing a break and creating a new time period. The Industrial Revolution was in some ways the start of the modern era. The biggest change during this time was the switch from manual labor to machines. This switch dramatically changed the people's lifestyle in the trade industry. Some of the continuities were that the wealthy upper class still paid fewer taxes than the poor lower class, and men still dominated over women.
From 1750 to 1914, world trade had major changes because of the advancements in technology. Once the steam engine was created, trains and boats could travel faster and ship more products, which meant cheaper prices. Raw materials from different countries could be transported to factories and manufactured to produce new goods. This opened up and expanded the trade network to include new trading ports, which increased globalization and world communication.
The Industrial Revolution brought many changes in society. Before, goods were handmade, which took longer to produce and cost more. Now, machines can mass-produce goods in a short amount of time, resulting in more products and lower costs of goods. This mass production of goods increased the standard of living in industrialized countries.
Birth rates increased due to the pressure women had to provide offspring for child labor. This increase led to overpopulation and crowding in cities. During this time, factories needed materials to manufacture goods. Eventually, this caused deforestation, air and water pollution, and other environmental damages.
Once factories were built, more job opportunities emerged. Women began to work for or in factories instead of staying home and taking care of the family. Some women even worked under the domestic system, which allowed them to stay at home and away from the factories. Now, social classes were mainly determined by wealth instead of family name. The Enlightenment was all about equality. Now this dude is John Locke. Not him, but him. John Locke was a philosopher who believed that individual rights were the basis of any government. Locke felt that the government should protect the people's life, liberty, and property.
Now this dude here is Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who was influenced by Locke's ideas. Rousseau said that the power of any government depends on the will of the people and not divine right. This means that the government had to govern based on what the people wanted.
Now, everyone's favorite man, Benjamin Franklin, was also an important figure during the Enlightenment period. He wrote the Poor Richard's Almanac, and his other contributions, such as the bifocal glasses and the lightning rod, were very practical and theoretical.
Now on to revolutions! Ah!
The American Revolution, 1775 to 1800. The American Revolution was caused by the high taxes and the trade restrictions imposed by the British. The more taxes the British imposed onto the American people, the more the people rioted and revolted. The British needed money because they were already suffering military debt from the French and Indian War and the 7 Years' War. Some taxes, such as the Stamp Act of 1765 and the Tea Act of 1773, caused strong acts and boycotts towards the British government. Colonists actually successfully boycotted about 2/3 of imported British goods. The people even tarred and feathered many British officials to mock them and show Britain that they had control.
The want for independence grew when a British force fired at a group of Boston colonists and killed civilians on March 5, 1770. This event was titled the Boston Massacre. In an attempt to calm the people, Parliament repealed some taxes and duties, but caused another uproar when they granted monopoly of tea to the British East India Company. The colonists responded by dumping shipments of tea into the Boston harbor.
As tension between the colonists or patriots and the British government increased, the patriots tried to create new governing bodies to make the new laws and control the militias. Unfortunately, when the First Continental Congress met in Philadelphia in 1775, the patriot militia and the British troops had already started fighting at Lexington and Concord, Massachusetts. Congress decided to organize an army led by George Washington to defend the colonists from the British. The idea of independence was encouraged by the pamphlet Common Sense, written by Thomas Paine. Finally, on July 4, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was revealed and independence was gained.